beach, my favorite surfing spot. Well, my local surfing spot. Came down late last night, drove out here from DC. It was only 3 hours this time. Rented a hotel room, a cheap motel, actually right on the beach. $50. Can you believe that? It's cheaper than the camping cabin. The camping cabin changed their policy, so now you have to book them for 2 nights, like all year long instead of just one. Yeah, I found this real quick. It's just right on the water. I can't believe it's this cheap, but it's winter, so. The waves are forecasted to be good today. It's, let's see, Thursday? Yeah, so it's a work day. People are obviously surfing before work, or, you know, maybe they're teleworking, I don't know. Not for the government. But yeah, the waves are just, they're a little bit too big for me. I think I'm just gonna get some of the smaller waves, like, and maybe some whitewash. So I only brought the surf Betty. Just did not feel like strapping up, putting on my roof racks last night because I left kind of late, and then my foam board and stuff, my 8-foot foam board. So I just put the surf Betty into my car. I got a Host Stevie cover for it a few months ago, like a travel case that's like protects it and everything. So I just pushed it into my car last night. I think I forgot my surf leash though. I don't know what I'm gonna do about that because all the surf shops are closed. People are saying online that surf Betties can catch absolutely anything. So hopefully that's the case. It's a 7.2, so it's more of a mid-length board. I do have to check out of this hotel in like 3 hours. I really wanted to go to a different beach, but it's more convenient to go here. Maybe I'll go to the other beach later. I always feel rushed when I go surfing at Virginia Beach. When I'm on a trip or something, I can always like be surfing all day, which is where I'm really progressed. Like when I went to Portugal and I was surfing all day, or when I was in Hong Kong on a work trip, I surfed like the entire day. It was amazing. Just rented a board right at the beach for $10 and just went out. Just trying to make some coffee. Oh, it's boiling. Pulled this out of my suitcase. I can't tell if this was my dog's. I think it was. Like, what the hell? They like to chew on stuff. All right, change of plans. I'm just gonna check out and go to a beach that's like 5 minutes away because I have to check out in a couple hours and I just don't want to be rushed. Plus, I really like the beach that I'm gonna be heading to. It's a lot better. Like, so Virginia Beach, this beach right here, or at least this surf spot right here, it kind of scoops in, because it's more of like a tourist spot where people go and lay out. So they're constantly like bulldozing the sand and everything. So there's a big dip right out here. The other beach, the waves just come on shore, just kind of like roll in slowly. So it's ideal for beginners and it doesn't make the waves as big. A dolphin. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Right there in the middle. I've seen so many drop-ins here. Somebody got dropped in by a boogie boarder earlier. Surprisingly, there was no fight though. Not too cold today, a little bit windy, but the temperature rose dramatically yesterday, so that's a good thing. Still gonna need this though. This backpack is waterproof. It's amazing for going to the beach, or if you're going on like a short day hike. and crossing some, stream or something is really great. And you can put air in it too, so it floats. You just like roll it up and the air is in there. So now that the surf shops are open, I'm gonna go buy a surf leash. Not ideal, but it's a lot better than not having one and getting like sucked out into the current or something. I'm gonna go check that out and pick up a couple things that I need. Like I need some more wetsuit laundry detergent. It's very specific to keep your wetsuits nice so they last longer. Probably gonna get something to eat. If I'm gonna go out and surf for hours and hours, I want to fuel up so that way I won't have to get out of the water and change out my wetsuit and stuff like that to go grab something to eat. I put on some zinc sunscreen and on everywhere but my chin, but I think I need to blend it in some more. Favorite go-to lunch when I'm down in Virginia Beach. Great snack for post-surf. So here is the site of the new wave pool that Pharrell Williams is, I think he's partially funding. I don't know, part owner. Gosh, it's flooded. But yeah, they're opening this up, supposed to be in the summer, this summer, but we'll see if that happens. Usually projects take a lot longer than people think, but there's gonna be shopping, like a shopping mall, hotels, everything surrounding the wave pool, so that'll be cool. I don't know how much the hotel will be, probably pretty expensive, but I do want to try out the wave pool this summer. Okay, so I just wanted to end this video with kind of like the discussion of the future of this channel, and suggestions from all of you watching, and then answer a few questions and comments from my video about losing my job from a few videos ago, because I don't know when I'm going to post this video. Comment down below on what videos I should make about surfing and stuff like that, or if you wanted to see something else. I do want to narrow the focus of this channel to surfing and wild swimming. I still have a few videos coming out from my trip to the UK like 2 years ago and then from my road trip across America, which I need to start editing those videos next. That was from 3 years ago. I know I'm so far behind. I've had a backlog for such a long time. I think I'll probably make a video explaining like wetsuits, for example. I have an idea. I wrote down a whole bunch of ideas on my notepad on my phone. There probably won't be any international travel on this channel for, you know, probably until next year, I guess, depending on how this new job goes. I need to save up some more money. This job could be wiped out in the next few months, you know, who knows. Crazy things are happening in this country. I'm actually at Costco right now, along with the rest of everyone who lives here. There is hardly any parking here, and it is a weekday afternoon, but everybody's probably stocking up because of the tariffs. There's a lot of stuff that we trade with Canada and Mexico, our neighbors. Okay, so to answer some comments on my video about losing my job, kind of blew up. I think right now it's at 3,500 views. Of course, got some like Russian bots on there, to be expected. With all the federal job losses and everything, there's a lot of Russian bots. And unfortunately, some of the comments were from actual people. A few of them are quite unhinged. It's people who have been convinced that, you know, federal workers and veterans are all just lazy, which is crazy because a few years ago, a lot of people in like the GOP, or who consider themselves GOP, were more like, you know, support our troops, we love our troops, everything, and now we're the enemy, which is crazy how someone or a movement can just come in and tell people. Some comments saying that, you know, oh, you know, you weren't in the office for 5 years, blah, 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 and you didn't want to come in, you're lazy. I rarely teleworked. Not that it matters, because I do think telework is efficient. It's more cost effective for the government because you're not paying for a commercial space, which most places where the government is here, like where people work here in the DC area, is commercial spaces. And they were pretty filled up. Like there was no room for anyone to come in. And yeah, people were saying stuff like, you're not entitled to a job, grow up, find another job. Well, I've been supporting myself for 19 years on my own. I moved out at 18, had my own apartment, paid for everything, and then I ended up joining the military a few years later in order to get a stable job afterwards, which is what a lot of people in the military do. In fact, 30% of the people being affected by all these terminations are veterans. And as far as entitlement to the job, when you lose a government job, like it's more secure for a reason. It's harder to get. It takes usually a year to get it. You have to go through all these background checks, and you have to jump through a lot of hoops. It is a lot of the time a lifelong commitment. A lot of people stay in these jobs until they retire. So because of that, it's much harder to lose, which I do agree that like people who have committed misconduct should be removed. I do know of some of those cases where there was sexual harassment, sexual assault, theft, things like that, workplace violence, and those people, you know, they don't get fired if they're past their probationary period, which is a year or 2. So we do have rights as federal employees, and in fact, if you lose your job, a lot of us who were involved in these terminations, illegal terminations, have filed with the Merit Board. Again, I can link it below. You can file an appeal. You can also file an appeal with the Office of Special Counsel. Some people did that. So there's a lot of ways, because this was done so sloppily, because Elon Musk doesn't know what he's doing, and a lot of these people with the Heritage Foundation have no clue like how this all works. They weren't careful with what they did. We are able to fight it, luckily. I will keep you updated. But yeah, I start my new job in a few days, so that's awesome. It's actually a pretty good job. It's an old job that I had years ago. Yeah, it was pretty fun. I mostly worked night shifts when I was there, like 12-hour days, so I will not be going back to that. I'm doing 8 hours. Just I'm too old to be doing that. Another few comments I got was kind of, and again,
these are probably bots, but they're trying to do like the blue collar versus white collar, rural versus city divide. And they're saying how like I cheered on coal miners when they lost their jobs or manufacturing jobs and stuff like that, which I've never done. Of course, they're pointing in kind of in general. They're trying to say people who work white collar jobs cheer on those who, when people in blue collar jobs lose their job or something like that. I used to be blue collar. Military is a very blue collar job. Before that, I worked on farms. I worked in retail. I've been working since I was 11 years old. So I don't want to hear any of that crap. I grew up in the country. My parents still live in a rural area, grew up in a small town. I've lived in cities, I've lived in suburbs, I've lived in the country. I've done it all. Really can't attach that white collar, blue collar hatred to me. Also, some people have said that I was surfing while I should have been working. This channel is about adventures, about surfing, about traveling and things like that. So naturally, those are what my videos are focused on. I really only went surfing on the weekends or when I was traveling. During the pandemic, I was in school full time on the GI Bill. So yes, I did have some days free during the weekday where I'd go off and stuff like that. I don't know. Some of these people are just, there's no critical thinking skills, none at all. And you can't fix stupid. Another one, there were some comments about my travel on the channel and how I'm like blowing money, having these luxurious trips to, one comment said Oregon, Virginia, which is where I live, and Italy. Okay, so Oregon is, I don't think anybody thinks that Oregon and Virginia are luxurious places to travel, but I live in Virginia. My family's from Washington. My best friend lives in Oregon, so naturally fly in there when we go to visit. And then Italy, yeah, we did get to go to Italy. That was one of our, I wouldn't even call it a luxury trip because we stayed pretty close to our budget and everything, and we don't like blow a budget on fancy hotels. We did stay in a cliffside villa for $250 a night, which is about what you'll find a hotel around here. But yeah, we do like to take international trips now that we both had decently paying jobs. We both graduated from college and we could afford to take international trips. We love to travel. We are frugal in other areas. 80% of my clothes are thrifted. This jacket, it was $40 on Facebook Marketplace. I'm wearing Ugg boots that were thrifted for like $40 or $60 off Poshmark. My car, which someone said was a BMW, it's a Volkswagen. It's 15 years old and I bought it cash with my re-enlistment bonus from the Army years ago. So yeah, we save monies. We're very frugal in other areas, and then we spend money on travel and I spend money on surfing. And some of those trips, a lot of those trips is spread out over a 6-year period, or even like an 11-12 year period, because I had some videos on there from Hawaii when I was stationed in Hawaii. And because this channel again is focused on travel and surfing, that's what's on here. Thanks for watching, and I hope that rant wasn't too terrible, but just wanted to clear up some things, even though I probably shouldn't even respond to these Russian bots and just some ignorant people. Don't forget to comment below on suggestions for future videos.